Peace, peace, love, love, joy, joy. Wow. Maybe I meant to record something today because that was not my initial goal. But I do notice that when I do record, because sometimes it's kind of hard for me to stay on topic, it may seem a little random. I try to bring it back together. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Love, love, joy, joy, peace. And don't forget the truth. Don't forget the truth. I wanted to do a little bit more research before I actually talked about this topic. And the topic that I'd like to speak on actually deals with ascending bonds of consciousness. And this subject is on people that are actually out there in the field doing the work. I don't know um, everybody's name. It's just that the state that the world is in today, um, you have to know that well, let's just call them elitists because we know it's the deep state, that the hidden agenda, the hidden agenda of the elitists is at work. And even though the US is the baby to the UK, uh, it's the entities that have the control, the elitists, that are doing the most damage with the whole pandemic and the protest. This is why the reason why I say you have to do your research with in reference to causes like Black Lives Matter is because if you don't do your research, you don't even realize that even though your goal and your purpose is for righteousness, because of who it is grounded and funded and rooted in, you're actually doing the same thing as the cause that you're trying to fight. Yeah, let me see. Let me break it down for you again. Okay, if my goal is to have you confused, the best way that I can have you confused is to allude you to the fact that I'm creating something for your right and your justice. And I'm creating this based on another diversion. Okay, so let me break it down even more realistically. Black Lives Matter. When you read what it is about, I'm not saying it doesn't say that it's not about, you know, getting justice and equality for black people. But if you notice, it includes everything. It includes um, all forms of sexuality, and it has always been my number one goal to get such justice and equality for the human. If you do the human, everything else will fall into place. But when your agenda is you you just okay, you just got to look it up because it really does get political. And even though I'm not a political person, I do realize that these are important times to pay attention, and we also need to be paying attention to what is politically going on. Okay, let's put that to the side. The great thing is that there are people out there doing the work. The people that are out there doing the work, the number one person that I know that is originally from the UK that has been doing this work for years, his name is Simon Parks with an ES at the end. And his work is actually phenomenal. It's amazing. And he had a group of women on his YouTube channel recently, and they all seemed to be into like the metaphysical. They were like um, some form of astrology, science. That's basically the same thing. Uh, um, well, the works that they're doing and the energy that they're dealing with, which is going back into the history of their ancestors and their lineage, is making a difference. As well as Simon Parks now. Please don't forget about him. Please look him up and the work that he's been doing. And I just appreciate the fact that we are there now, that we actually have people that are making a difference in the world. It gives hope. And the fact that most of these people that are doing the work like that are actually in the UK, which is the mother to the US. Historically, you know that the UK is the mother and the US is the baby, and the baby is really misbehaving. Okay? So, peep that. Peep that. Really misbehaving. So, hopefully, a lot of people will awaken up to this information because I posted it on Facebook. The collection of the women coming together, and I actually put it on my YouTube page. Yes. Can you wait till I finish recording? Remember what I said about recording? I'll be right there. Okay. All right. So, if you get a chance, please check it out. I know this is a little late because I posted it earlier today. On my playlist, it's not actually because I don't know how to connect it to what I do to YouTube yet. But on my playlist, it's under Simon Parks. It's 2 videos he has. One about Independence Day, and the other one is with the 6 women that came together, on the same accord of making making a difference in the world, considering the climate that we're in right now. However, they do that energetically. It's not about speaking on TV. It's not about that because mainstream media is not going to tell you the facts. It's about dealing with the energies, because everything is energy. It's about dealing with the energies in a way that would allow this world to progress. And can I say this? I've never really been, as far as a political person, I've never really been an advocate for Republicans, and I didn't even know why. I had no idea why. I am going to say this. And I have a lot of people in my family, like from my mother to my sister, and I think my brother as well, have a very strong dislike for Trump. And I know that's because they don't even have a clue to what he has done and is doing currently, because most of their information is coming from mainstream media. And what I'm going to say is, like I said, even though Ascending Bonds of Consciousness is not about, it's not about politics, it is about awakening our consciousness from the bonds that we are attached to. And what I can say is, if most of your information that you got about Trump came from the mainstream media, then you need to do some further research, because there's a reason why they're making him out to be the bad guy. And there's a reason why they made Barack Obama, the first black president, seem as if he was, giving us some hope. And I do understand that in the eyes of young black children, that does give them a feeling as if they can do and be anything they want. That's the only thing I feel his presidency has done. And this is coming from somebody who is not political, but all about the truth. I'm not a politician. I'm all about the truth. And the truth of the matter is that there is more harm than done during President Barack Obama's presidency. And there's more good than harm during Trump's presidency. And I feel that if we get another Democrat, or if we get a Democrat in disguise of a Republican in November, it's going to be a rude awakening where people are going to look at all Trump supporters and say all people that looked at Trump supporters as the problem are now going to have a rude awakening. And I don't want it to get to that point. I don't want to get to the point where Trump people who are supporting what Trump is doing. You don't necessarily have to be a Trump supporter, but people who are supporting what Trump is doing. I don't want us to be at a point where the people who are supporting Trump say, "See, I told you." I don't. We don't want to be at that point. We don't want to just to say we're right, and then we have to. The fight will be intense. Oh, I can't even tell you, because there is levels to this shift of energy. Anywho, I I'm so happy that life is hopeful, that there are people out in the world like Simon Parks and the group of women that got together and they spoke about, they were supposed to be about politics, but it ended up being more about the energies that's put out in the world and how people are making a difference through the work that they do energetically, which is very important. Anyway, get to your truth and the truth in the world. Love, love, love. Joy, joy, joy. Peace, peace, peace. And please do not forget the truth. Truth, truth, truth. Love ya.